Good evening. Welcome to Irons United. Thank you all for joining us. And well, we're here. We're going to play against Chelsea. Just waiting for Nigel to sort himself out, and he'll be coming on in a minute. And we've got some team news for you. Just been released by X on Twitter. Two changes: Ogbona's in and Lanzini's in place of Bowen and in place of Noble. Let's bring. Hello, mate. Are you well?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Let's just turn that off. Sorry.
If you were ready or not.
Yeah, no, all good.
Well, the team's been announced.
Oh, yeah, is it?
Well, it's on Twitter.
It's a predicted lineup, I thought.
Oh, it's a predicted I take that back. It's a predicted lineup.
That's what I've seen. I've got a picture of a predicted lineup.
Okay, is that what I've got? Fabianski, Creswell, Ogbonna, Diop, Fredericks, Rice, Souček, Bowen, Fornals, Lanzini, and Antonio.
Yes. So
right. So pardon me. It's only just gone on Twitter, so it's predicted.
It says predicted is our prediction.
Right. We don't know 100% yet.
Sam Inkersole.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this is West Ham way. We've nicked this from. Sam Inkersole has tweeted a picture of Noble sitting in the stands.
Right. It looks like Noble's not starting. What do you think of that? Lanzini again. I mean,
I would imagine for Noble to be sitting in the stands, not on, probably don't look like he's going to be on the subs bench from Sam Inkersole's picture. There's only one reason Moyes would do that. That's injury.
Right, not resting him.
But I mean, if you're Moyes, are you going to totally drop Mark Noble?
I think you're going to drop him if you think that he's going to
from the 19. Bearing in mind you've got 8 subs.
Yeah, well, that is true. That is true. So yeah, but we haven't heard any news about whether he's injured or not.
You know, this is 2 and 2 together, coming up with 5.
Yeah,
you know, let's see what happens.
Please bear in mind, everyone, it is predicted, and we've only picked this up. So you know, once we get the actual news, but we believe that Noble is out and Lanzini's in, and Ogbona's back. I actually thought he was going to save Ogbonna, but I'm not too surprised that he's in. By the way, mate, have you seen the new shirt? Oh, sorry, that's a 2015 shirt. Got confused there for a minute.
It commemorates that team that it don't commemorate.
It commemorates exactly. I thought I was going to be wearing navy blue, but there you go. Lanzini, what does he see in him that we're not seeing at the moment? What he did this before, so what's going on with his thought process?
Look, Moyes has these people in training. He's seeing them a lot more than what we are. We all know that Lanzini is a fantastic player, but you know he got an injury last season, and he's never really come back from that. I think it was while he was with Argentina, wasn't it? Prior to the World Cup, was it 2018? Yeah.
That's correct.
It's been nearly 2 years, and when he came back, he's not been the same player since. But somewhere in there is the chance that he will become that player again. You know, what's the phrase? You know, form is temporary, class is permanent. Well, Lanzini was class.
Absolutely, he was class, and I still think there's something in him that can, you know, he can reproduce that kind of fame that we got from him when he first came to us. I mean, it was quite a revelation, wasn't he? An unknown. You know, he was playing. Where was he? He was playing in
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. You know, people were going, well, you know, maybe on loan, not much to lose, and he did the trick for us, didn't he? He actually he came in and he did really well. But that injury, as you say, really sort of knocked the hell out of him, and he's not been the same player since. But do we have enough time to wait for him to be the player he was? Do we have enough games? Is this a massive risk? When you think about the other players that we've got available to us.
Well, who else is available then?
All right. Well, let's go through them because we've done this. We've done this over, a few times before, and I know you're not going to agree with some of them, but we can talk about the merits
Yeah.
and Yarmolenko. All right. He's not going to play like 90 minutes. He's not a fast player, but he has played up front in the past for Ukraine. He's
I've
done
got to turn
well.
the comments off because Sean's in there. Go on. Sorry.
He's done well, and you would have thought that perhaps this might not be in a bad game for him to play in.
Yeah, but would you put Yarmolenko in the middle? He's always
No.
struck to me. No, but so therefore, look, we've lost Noble, a player in the middle. Souček can sit and hold. Rice will sit and hold. So therefore, for me, it's got a bit of a leeway to bring in a creative player. For me, having Rice, Souček, and Noble, Souček is not for me an attacking midfield player. He links to play, but he's not more forward thinking. Where Lanzini is predominantly forward thinking, so may get forward more and support.
I agree with that, but I guess what I'm asking is Lanzini the right forward thinking player to bring on? Let's go back to Yarmolenko. What he could have done if he wanted to, he could have put Antonio out on the left. Antonio's good out on the wings. Even you've said that. He's got most of his goals as a right wing and all that sort of stuff. So I'm suggesting maybe he could have started Antonio out on the left. He could have brought Fornals in to the creative number 10 slot, which is his natural game, and then perhaps Yarmolenko ahead of him. Even if it was for, say, the first half. Just to because Yarmolenko is a good target man. He kind of knows that type of game. Yeah, he's a midfielder, but he's the type of player, because he's played it for Ukraine. He's done it a couple of times for us. He's that type of player that can play in that position. And I guess that's why I'm sort of questioning whether Lanzini is the right player. So we've got the confirmed lineup, if I can find it. We have got the confirmed lineup. Go on, while I'm looking for that one. Tell me what you think.
Well, I mean, the only two options for me, if you're not playing Noble, is Lanzini or Anderson.
Yeah,
and I don't like to single out players, but Anderson for me, when he came on against Spurs, I had the after the game. With a game of football, for me, you can affect the way the people watching the game just from your performance in the last 15 to 20 minutes of the game. So you can play rubbish for like 60, 70 minutes. But if you do really well in the last 15 or 20 minutes, nick a goal back or whatever, the crowd will generally walk away or walk away from the game thinking, blimey, we showed improvement there. We put a bit of effort in and everything. I was more upset about the effort West Ham put in after going 2-0 down than perhaps the effort for the rest of the game. And predominantly, Anderson showed absolutely no effort in chasing players down, going after the ball, tackling. I know he's not a tackler, but when you're 2-0 down against Spurs, you've got to show a bit of something else. And he didn't do that. And so for me, I would have gone with Lanzini for that reason over Anderson. The only thing I would say is that last season Anderson was responsible, was it for 10 or 12 goals, like with scoring and assists?
Yeah, he did well. And ironically, he's, as bad a season as he's had this season, he's our third best assist provider. Yeah. He's assisted in 4. Listen to the Chelsea news, mate. Ari, I'm not going to do a Sean without being able to pronounce the goalie's name, so we'll call him Ari. Ari's the Ari whatever. Aspilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger, Alonso in defence, which is kind of standard. Barkley, Kante, Kovacic in midfield. Pulisic has made it. Abraham and Willian. So they're going for it, aren't they?
Well, the thing with Chelsea is that Man United has crept up behind them. Now, there's every possibility Man City may win their appeal against Champions League football next season.
Yeah.
So therefore, the team in fifth will not qualify for Champions League.
But they've got to go for it anyway.
You know, it's a big feather for Lampard to take this team and finish in the Champions League. It's a big feather in his cap, considering it's his first season in Premier League football. He's gone with the youth, and they had the transfer embargo. And even though the transfer embargo got lifted in January, he didn't sign anyone. So it's a big feather in Lampard's cap to take that Chelsea team into the fourth spot.
Absolutely.
The way he's done it. So I fully expected them, you know, to go for it. They've got the FA Cup semi-final, but that's not for a couple of weeks, is it?
That's right.
So he can concentrate on the league, and he needs to keep, you know, Man United. Man United seem to be playing far better now than they've ever done under Solskjaer.
Surprisingly, just in time to for us to visit them in a few weeks.
Well, yeah, I mean that game's now been delayed, isn't it? So it's not going to be on the Saturday because that's FA Cup semi-final day. So we're going to probably face the instance of playing our final 2 games in 4 days, which is not good because it'll probably be the Man United game first on the Tuesday or the Wednesday. I'd imagine on the Wednesday we'll play Man United, and then we'll have Villa on the Sunday. Is it
Sunday? Yeah. Well, they'll play all the games like they do at the end of the season. You know, all the last games all together.
Yeah, last games all together. So it has to be, but the season has to finish that day.
On that day.
We've got to play Man United. We're not playing them on the Saturday before now. So
it'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe.
So out of all the bottom teams, we're probably going to be the less fresh.
But here's the thing: we've been done a favour yet again. Norwich have lost. Bournemouth have lost at home. Or the last I heard, they were losing. I don't know if you've got that confirmed at all, but they were
going on, isn't it? The game.
Newcastle were beating them 3-0, so you can safely bet
they've lost that.
They've lost that. So
the goal difference thing is big there. That's, you know, the last thing we need is a 3-0 defeat or whatever. Because the mad situation is that if Villa and Bournemouth keep losing 1-0. And we kept losing 2-0. Eventually, we're going to drop into the bottom. Because
where does that leave Moyes' mind thinking? So he's looking at that and he's going, so Bournemouth are losing 3-0. Norwich have lost anyway. So I think we kind of accept that Norwich is just about done, I think, yeah?
Well, at one point, and every point here is valuable. I mean, the mad thing is that before Bournemouth kicked off, the one thing keeping us out of the bottom 3 was Moyes' first game in charge. Yeah. We beat Bournemouth. 4-0. That's an 8-goal turnaround with goal difference because we whacked 4 on them and chalked 4 off of ours.
Yeah.
You know, if we'd have beat them 1-0, think about it, we'd be in the bottom 3 now.
Massive difference. That's true. So his mindset then, he's looking at that and he's thinking they're losing 3-0. Norwich are more or less.
I think Norwich have gone.
Norwich have gone. So, what will he say to the players? Will he go out tonight and say, "Let's keep the score down, lads," or will he go out tonight and say, "Let's get a draw," or will he go out and say, "Let's win this"? In all honesty, what do you honestly think he would?
I would expect him to set up, to keep it tight, not concede, and see where we are going into the last 20 minutes.
Which is what we did in the last 2 games and then ended up conceding in the last 20 minutes.
It's backfired us on the past. I can think of games where we've done that and it's worked for us. A tactic Redknapp used to use a lot away from home. It happened once in Chelsea where he brought Kitson on with 20 minutes to go and he got a goal.
What a goal. Yeah.
And we won it 1-0 and we nicked a win there. So
let's play devil's advocate. 20 minutes to go. The game is roughly even. You know, Chelsea are banging on the door. What changes will Moyes make? Will we start seeing him? Will he start thinking 20 minutes to go? We're doing all right. Do you think his mindset will then turn around and go, let's try and win this, or will he just keep a 0-0?
I think it depends what you're seeing on the pitch, though, isn't it? If you can see us at least having some control of the game, then I think he would be quite happy in trying to nick the win. if we're being dominated, the last thing you want to do is open us up. And this season, there's not been many games where we've dominated possession or dominated control of the ball or looked more dangerous with the ball than the opposition. There's not been that many games.
Yeah.
So frankly, the mindset is going to be, let's protect what we got and see what we can get.
See what we can get. And what do you think of Declan being captain tonight? Good move?
It's the understandable move. The captain of the club shouldn't be just the best player, should be a figurehead and a player that people respect throughout the club, not just within his immediate teammates. So realistically, I mean, you could have said, I suppose, Ogbonna, but with Rice coming, being at the club since the age of 14, I think he is emotionally attached to the club.
Yeah.
This kid has only ever said the right things. Bearing in mind, we all know he was at Chelsea. We know he grew up as a Chelsea fan and his dad was a Chelsea and everything else. So now but he never comes out and says that, does he?
Well, we've only nicked what Chelsea nicked off us years gone by when John Terry was a West Ham lad and went there.
Well,
so
nicked. Chelsea will say they let him go. But this is a lot for Rice because not every time he plays well against Chelsea, it's Declan Rice going, look what you could have had. It's like he's going up against his ex-girlfriend, isn't it? And he wants to show them, I've done better than you.
Very true.
Well, we're all laughing and sniggering when we know Chelsea have got the far better looking bird.
Mate, have we got goals in us tonight? In all seriousness, with Lanzini, I mean, I really want him to do well, but can you see us getting a goal tonight? Can you see us doing something different? I mean, we got Bowen. I mean, sooner or later that guy's going to spark again, isn't he? If he's allowed to. If Bowen and if Fornals are allowed to go forward and play the game that they can play, and start supporting Lanzini and Antonio up front, have we at least got a goal in us tonight?
But the problem we got with Bowen is his defensive duties. Behind him is Creswell, who does not look. There's another one. He actually looks like the player that probably played for Ipswich. Yeah. Because when we bought him, he was fantastic. He was outstanding, and you begin to wonder why he spent 3 years playing for Ipswich in the Championship.
Yeah.
But actually now, there's obviously, I don't know whether it's the tactics that Moyes plays, or he can't get the grips with it. He seems to have lost something, but he's still better than your mate, isn't he? At the end of the day,
he's much better than my mate. And look, current scores. Norwich 3-0, Bournemouth 3-0. I think we can kiss Norwich goodbye. Bournemouth are really, I mean, they're as bad as us, aren't they? Really, they're probably actually even worse, to be honest with you.
All the teams down there, nobody seems to be having that spark to get themselves out of it. Who's Watford got?
I don't know. I'll look it up. But the irony is, if we win tonight, we go. I said in my show at the weekend that I thought Brighton had pulled away because they got 33 points. Then they got thumped the other day. And if we win tonight, we're just 3 points behind them.
Well, we're 3 points, a massive goal difference.
Yeah.
So to get above Brighton, we would need to win 3 games out of 6 just to get above Brighton. And if they don't pick up 1 more point, and to do that, bearing in mind Moyes has won 2 games in the league out of 12 or 13?
Out of 12. And this was my question the other night. He's won 2 out of 12. So what makes us think he's going to win 3 out of the last 7, including tonight?
Ooh, that is
it's
it's
a tall order.
Hope. I was working in a church today. I almost bent down and said a prayer, while no one was looking.
Guess who Watford have got in their next game?
Who they got?
Chelsea.
Oh, right. So they're not playing this week then, Watford?
They're playing on Saturday. They're playing at 8 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. And then Man United have got Bournemouth on Saturday. Norwich have got Brighton, so we've got Newcastle, and Liverpool have got Villa. So
The
even the
thing is,
game seems to be
Newcastle
going for
beginning to
us.
but you say that. But the thing is, we keep going. Oh, Newcastle, we're coming up to the easy games. We've got Newcastle and Burnley. But
That
let's
ain't
face
easy.
it,
They're not
Newcastle
easy.
away, our record there is
Yeah,
not great at all.
yeah,
Um,
totally agree.
so
Totally
that,
agree.
and they're starting to hit form. They were 6 inches away from equalising against Man City. That it was I thought it was a harsh penalty they conceded. I mean, it was a good goal. I think it was Sterling when it had got their second goal. So they weren't outplayed totally on Sunday. They started to have a go at Man City in the second half, and Dwight Gale looked the part. I mean, it's made, isn't it? Andy Carroll has not scored for Newcastle. Without trying
Don't even
to.
say it.
Well, there's a funny thing that I always say to people that you got to be wary of is that when Fernando Torres joined Chelsea, he didn't score, he didn't score, he didn't score. And someone set up a website called Has Torres Scored for Chelsea Yet? And I was led to believe it was a West Ham fan. So you would actually type in www.Has Torres Scored for Chelsea Yet? And all that appeared on the first page was no. So that was it, because I actually did it for a laugh just to see it. It actually said no. And of course, with an assist from a puddle against West Ham, Torres scored his first goal for Chelsea against us.
As we keep saying, we're the gift that keeps on giving, aren't we? If anyone wants to break a record, just come and break it at West Ham.
Yeah,
or against West Ham.
It's written in the stars that Andy Carroll will score his first goal. Almost a year to the day after leaving West Ham.
Oh, mate. And that could be the goal that sends us down eventually. Who knows?
It's hard to when you get relegated, you're relegated over a season. It's hard to pick one game. I still maintain that it's going to go to the Aston Villa game, the last game of the season.
Well, let's hope we've got something to play for when we get there.
Yeah.
Let's hope we've still got something to play for. Having a look at the subs, I'm trying to make out who Lucy is. I've got no idea whether that's Lewis or Lucy. And I'll be honest with you, having followed the under-23s, I still don't know who that is.
Have we called up one of the women?
Let me get that back up because I don't know.
Is it Lucy Yarmolenko? Is it his sister?
So we've got Randolph Johnson, Balbuena,
right.
Wilshire, Lewis, Yarmolenko, Anderson Silva, and Ayeti. So, as you said, no Noble there either. So either he is injured, which is just our luck, or he's saving him. He's keeping his legs fresh. But I think he's made a mistake there.
He's pulled an hamstring.
Oh, mate. But he should have kept him fresh. He should.
He should have kept him. People, don't panic.
Yeah. He's not in the know. Well, he is, but he's not. But he is. I think he should have kept him fresh for one of the first two games. And if he is keeping him fresh tonight in order to be ready for Sunday, all right. But we have had a week off. He could have played against Chelsea. So maybe you're right. Maybe he is carrying a knock or something. So, but we don't know.
I mean, one thing I'd say is I don't get your faith in Yarmolenko.
I'll tell you why.
I can only think of 2 games where Everton away, where he's ever really done anything. The last time he played 90 minutes for us was in October. He had a few games where he got benched and whatever, and then hasn't been seen since Christmas.
I'll tell you. It's Alfie Lewis, by the way, people. That's the other sub.
What's it all about, Alfie?
What's it all about? Oh, God. Why didn't I know? I did a bloody article on him and I forgot about him. Alfie Lewis has just signed an extended contract with the club, under 23s, and he's a very gifted, talented central midfielder who
he ain't getting on then, is he?
And hear this, he's apparently in the mould of Manuel Lanzini.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, so, Never know. But I'll give you my reasons for Yarmolenko. I'm not suggesting for a minute he should play 90 minutes. I'm not suggesting he should maybe even just 45. There he is, young lad. Maybe 45 minutes. But the reason why I'm I would wanted to see a striker on the pitch tonight. It could have either been Yarmolenko, Silva, or Yeti. We've already said a Yeti is not Premier League class. So in between the two of Silva and Yarmolenko, I would have gone with either of them. I would have gone with either of them. And Yarmolenko's just got the more experience, and it's just to have a front man, just to have someone from here we go. Mark Noble is suffering from a slight hamstring.
Oh, yeah, look at that. I
There you
picked that
go.
out. I plucked that from the.
Pluck that from Sean Whetstone. but the only reason
He
why
actually still not fun, didn't he? Dear, oh dear.
but the only reason why I'm proposing Yarmolenko is because he's the best of what we have, whilst Dallaire is still out. And so I'm not putting my faith in him or hope in him. It was just that all I think is we just needed a front man. That's all, and better to have someone like that there than no one, because I kind of feel sorry for Antonio. He's going to play up front on his own again. I know he's got, Fornals, and he's going to have Lanzini and Bowen sort of supporting him. But because we know what Moyes is like, Moyes is going to say, sit back, lads, only support him when we break. And I guess fair enough when you're playing away from home, but we're playing at home. And that's why I wanted to see Yarmolenko there, because he's a focal point, Not that I've got that.
I mean, looking at that bench, the one name that I'd want to see on the pitch would be Wilshere, to be fair.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Yeah.
So now, if we can get him on for the last, I'd like to give him half hour, to
absolutely.
be fair. That's
absolutely.
What perhaps, we can play Lanzini for the first hour and then bring Wilshere on. If it's,
absolutely
especially if it, Wilshere out of any of our midfielders.
4-0 Bournemouth.
4-0. Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, it's terrible, really, in a way, for us to be sitting here taking delight in another team getting spanked, because it's not the fact they're not getting a point, it's the 4 goals, the goal difference now.
Yeah.
They're down now. They would have dropped below Villa, I think, now.
Bournemouth
in the league table.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So, because it could come down to goal difference. It really could come down to goal difference.
Yeah.
Here's one thing is, bearing in mind, in the 20-team Premier League era, we've gone down with the most points.
42 points, yeah.
It's quite possible that in the 20-team Premier League era, we could stay up with the least amount of points.
33, you reckon?
I think I do. I think it's possible. The way the other teams played, looking at their fixture list, that 33 points could possibly. The lowest we stayed up with, I believe, is 35 or 34. Definitely 35 we stayed up with, I think, under Lanzini. Grant, we went down, I believe, with 33.
You mean Lanzini?
Not Lanzini, sorry. Under Zola.
Zola.
We stayed up with. That was the 2009-2010 season.
That's right.
When they came in. And
promptly got rid of him and gave us the gift that kept on giving too.
Well, yeah. They took statistically the worst West Ham manager we'd had and replaced him with someone to replace him statistically as the worst West Ham manager.
But as you keep pointing out, he was very good in the cup run.
Oh, he was good. Do you know? We had some good cup, and that it masked it. Because the funny thing about that season is, I remember it well, is that I started my say no to Olympic Stadium campaign that season in the October. And then in the December, it was the Man United game.
Yeah.
That Man United game in the snow, I'd spent an hour and a half collecting signatures on my own outside hiding in the phone box by the gates because it was so cold that I couldn't hold the pen. And I used to open the phone box door and go, sign the petition, say no, no one walking along, shut the door. And I bought front row tickets in the chicken run to wave my flag at the owners, say no to Olympic Stadium. And it was on Sky Sports loads of the time. Every time the ball went past, we're jumping up, holding the flag. And it turned out the owners didn't even get there because they got stuck on the M25. Oh, dear.
So, what do you think tonight then? Now that we've seen the team news, thank you, Anton. You can take that off now. So look at that goal difference. I mean, look, all of a sudden we,
psychologically, that is worth an extra point. That's what I'm saying. Look at Brighton. Brighton are on -10.
Yeah.
So, even a point pushes us up against Watford. Yeah. Brighton on -10, 9 goals clear of us. So we do need 3 wins to get above them.
Yeah. But yeah, psychologically, Moyes will be looking at that. And if I was David Moyes now, and I'd be looking at that going, look at that, lads. I wouldn't be saying to them, look, goal difference is going to keep us out of the bottom 3 tonight. I'd be saying to the team, go out there and show what you can do. Let's nick a point if we can, but go for it. Show some still, and try and give this decent Chelsea team a game tonight. We don't want to sit back against them, do we? I mean, they've got a very, very strong team out tonight. Yeah, well, their midfield and their attacking 3, it's strong, isn't it?
Well, the one thing I've always said about the beauty of West Ham is that when we watch them play, we never know the result. Yeah. And that's the best thing about it, because how many times have we gone into games like this and we're walking up the game and think, oh, we're going to be smashed tonight. Yeah. And we've won the game. So Chelsea are not, I don't think Chelsea are fantastic at the back. So technically,
they can be got at.
They can be got at. We have got a bit of pace with Bowen out wide. Antonio can put himself about. Lanzini could create a bit of magic. So there is that possibility that we could nick a win. The draw, actually, if we play it tight and we play Moyes ball, then that is keeping it tight. Bit dull, bit dire, men behind the ball, but stifle the life out of them. A bit like Allardyce when, the park in the bus gate or whatever it was when he laughed at Mourinho.
When Mourinho
I mean, I was
the
at
irony,
that game.
That's what Mourinho does.
Yeah, I mean, I was at that game and I walked out and I think I bumped into George Bucci, and I remember saying it felt dirty celebrating that draw, because we'd actually done nothing in the game but defend. But because it wound Chelsea up so much, we were the fans singing on the train platform, not the Chelsea fans. So, it is possible we can do that. And then it's quite possible that Chelsea turn up. I mean, they've got, Giroud loves a goal against us. He's probably on the bench.
Probably, yeah.
So therefore, I've just made the argument of all 3 results. The beauty of West Ham, anything is possible. Keep the faith.
So let's have a look at some comments before I ask you for your prediction. So we got Sean. He's booing you, mate. Look at that. He's just going boo.
Yeah, we fell out. We don't talk as much now.
Words and pictures. What's your name, Words and Pictures? I'm feeling the beer. Hope for a win. You are feeling the beer. I had a beer earlier as well, and I've
got to run down to the other end of the garden to pick my beers up because I'm up in the shed, and I've just noticed I forgot to bring. I've got empties from the other day. That's it.
Can you see us getting a shot on goal?
Yes. He didn't say on target.
Well, he said on goal, so that's on target.
All
right. Good morning, Neil. He's our biggest fan, Neil. I mean, 355. Do you ever sleep, Neil?
Neil is my favourite social media person. He is just pops up everywhere and always has a good thing to say. Good day, Neil.
Who's Lewis? I answered that. Alfie Lewis, under 23s, decent player. Just signed an extended contract with the club. If Moyes loses to Chelsea, he has the worst record than Avram. Thanks, Sean. That's really encouraging. What players are going to give a good performance? So who's going to give a good performance tonight out of the West Ham team?
Ogbonna.
Well, yeah, good shout. According to WHO blog, Noble misses out tonight with a minor hamstring. Yep, we got that. That was breaking. I think he broke that before Sean did. That'll upset Sean, won't it? What else we got? How many times have we said Wiltshire and he's come on and done nothing? Well, you know what? Lanzini and Anderson have come on and done nothing, so why not give Wiltshire a chance to do nothing?
That's a great name, though, for a West Ham fan, isn't it? Because that's what we're in at the moment. A long, dark tunnel.
It is a great name, actually, yeah. Do you think if Moyes keeps us up playing, losing by the least goals tactics, possibly by goal difference, GSB... so, do you think if Moyes keeps us up by playing this losing game, but we only stay up by goal, GSB say the fans have let the players and club down by not supporting the team?
I don't think they're as stupid as I think they are. I don't think they're that stupid to say it publicly, even though some of the stuff I've seen them said privately, you would be amazed. But no, I don't think they would. The worst thing about that would be the bonus that Moyes gets for
1 million in
it by playing losing football.
Imagine if we stay up. He's won 2 games and we stay up, and he gets £1 million bonus for it.
Yeah.
What easy money. What easy money.
The only thing I'd like to think of, we gave, and this is the problem, is I was talking to someone today and he said, like, what type of business rehires someone who they thought was no good?
West Ham United.
Yeah, and this is the thing, you know, he's saying the owners keep going, it's a business. It's a business. It's a business. So looking at it at business terms, what business ever does that? But not only that is, they gave him a better contract than they did when they thought he was rubbish.
Brilliant. So, and he even came in and said he's got a better squad than last time.
Yeah,
and he's still only won 2 games.
Actually, in that year and a half that he hadn't been with you since you jettisoned him, nobody else had actually come and thought he was any good either.
Yeah.
So
only at West Ham. Only at West Ham. All right, predictions before we go.
Well, I keep going for a loss, and I'll probably stick with that.
Well, if you go for a win, we might actually win. Go for a draw. Go for a draw.
No, I can't. It's a prediction game, isn't it? And as crap as I am in Super 6, I've done really well in my predictions. The last 2 games, I've predicted 2 defeats, and I've hit the nail on the head. I do believe that. Let's go for a 0-0.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen. That is the worst prediction. I keep telling him not to push you because you'll end up stopping to come on.
He's getting me a bad name, you know, other places. He's getting yourselves a bad name as well.
Well, we don't care about that.
Oh dear.
Right, dear. My prediction after seeing that is, I'm going to go for a 2-2.
A Desmond.
I'm going to go for a 2-2. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet. We can't. We don't know how. We don't know how to keep a clean sheet. I'm glad Bonner's back, but I reckon I'm going for a 2-2. Absolute 2-2. Right,
yeah,
people.
I mean, if you don't think we can quickly keep a clean sheet, I mean, just quickly, because I see it's only still up there till kickoff, but we won't talk rough our people, don't worry.
We can, though.
Bearing in mind that once we get this season away, next season ain't 3 months away. It's possibly only 4 or 5 weeks away. What do we do then to turn it around?
Well, it's a quick fire sale, and Moyes gets at least another 3 of his own players in, doesn't he? That's what he'll have to do. If Moyes wants to prove that he's decent and Premier, you know, this is the job for him that he keeps talking about, and he keeps talking about. I mean, I groaned a lot when he said, "I want to make history at West Ham," and all I could think of was, "What history are you going to make apart from sending us down, mate?" You know, and I really wanted to think positively, you know, because when he said, "I want to make history," I was like, I'm not seeing anything right now that is going to help you create history at West Ham.
Well, he makes it today if he loses, according to Sean.
Yeah, well, he will, yeah. But if given that apparently the transfer window is going to stay open till something like October time, end of October. So what I guess he'll do is, I bet he's already got, and most managers should be doing at this time of the season, he's got a list of players he wants. He's got a list of players he wants to move on. And I reckon he's probably got about 3, 4, 5 players that he thinks time for them to go. We're not going to predict that now. We'll do that for another show.
Yeah.
And I reckon he's probably already. I mean, if he's sensible, which we all hope he is, he's going to be looking for a left back. He's going to be looking to reinforce his centre backs, and he's going to be looking for a striker. 3, if nothing else at all, are those are the 3 positions. So I'm hoping it will be a quick turnaround, and he'll get the players in that he wants. And then let's see, and then we can judge him on his own team rather than.
We'll get our heads together soon and do
I've got it already worked out,
a next season thing, because for me, he's only got a year contract. How many players will actually look at that and think, why should I follow you? With the owner's track record, with the thing, I think we've got problems. I know we've got to get this season out of the way first, but you then need to start with one eye on next season.
Yeah.
And what happens there, because again, short-termism. I found an article I wrote 3 years ago when we signed Joe Hart, Zabaleta, and a couple of other players, and it was in the August or the September, and I actually complained about the signing, about that we bought for the now, not for the future, and the future is going to cause us problems. Well, we're in that future now. And 3 years ago, the problems the club in run deep. But that is for another day.
It is. Let's finish off with this, because I think it's the perfect comment to finish off on. You two are great pundits. Come on, you Irons. Thank you, Joan. Much appreciated. So, are you changing your mind? You still going for a 0-0?
I'll stick with a 0-0, because at least at kickoff I can go, well, at least I was right at some point.
I'm sticking with a 2-2. So it looks like we're looking for a point, and there'll be a watch along straight after this show. I bet you're all gasping to get on that and watch that. Watch us watch the football. Be a pleasure. And then we're coming on for a review. Are you coming on for a review?
Yeah. Let me know. I've not got work tomorrow, so I'll try and fix the lights in my shed. I'll move them into the correct position rather than where they are now.
Love Nigel needs to be a regular. We're working on that, Gary.
Well, I was on last week. How regular do you want me? Jesus Christ.
Right, we'll see you all later. And of course, come on, you Irons.
Yeah, see you later.